Have you ever walked into a room and just knew someone didn't like you? No words were exchanged, no obvious signs. But something in their energy, their body language, the way they looked at you, or maybe didn't look at you, told you everything. And later, you were right. They really didn't like you. So what's going on here? Are some people just more intuitive, or is there actual psychology behind this ability to sense dislike? Is it a gift, a curse, or maybe both? Stick with me because what you're about to discover might explain why you pick up on things others completely miss. For some people, this ability comes from something psychologists call hypervigilance, and it usually starts in childhood. If you grew up in an environment where you had to constantly read the room to stay safe emotionally or physically, your brain learned to detect subtle shifts in mood and behavior. A parent's tone, a sibling's silence, a teacher's glance. You became an expert at reading micro-expressions, changes in posture, hesitation in speech. Your survival, or at least your emotional safety, depended on it. So now, even as an adult, your brain is still scanning, still detecting, still protecting. When someone dislikes you, you don't just sense it. You feel it in your body because your nervous system was trained to spot threat. For this group, sensing dislike isn't intuition. It's a learned survival skill that never turned off. Then there's a second type, the highly empathetic. These are people with what psychologists call high emotional intelligence or EQ. They don't just notice body language. They feel energy. They pick up on inconsistencies between what someone says and what they actually feel. Someone might smile and say, "No, I'm fine," but an empathetic person can sense the tension underneath. Studies show that people with high empathy have more active mirror neurons, the brain cells that help us unconsciously mimic and feel what others are experiencing. So when someone dislikes them, they don't need evidence, they just know. Because on some subconscious level, they're mirroring that person's emotional state, the coldness, the distance, the subtle rejection. It's not paranoia. It's their brain processing emotional data that others aren't even aware exists. For them, sensing dislike is exhausting because they're constantly absorbing feelings that aren't even theirs. And then there's the third group, and this one's the most painful. These are people who sense dislike because they're looking for it. Not because they're paranoid, but because somewhere deep down, they expect to be disliked. Psychologists call this rejection sensitivity, and it's often rooted in past experiences of abandonment, betrayal, or chronic criticism. Their brain has learned a painful pattern. People leave, people hurt, people reject. So now, even in neutral situations, their mind scans for signs of rejection before it happens. A delayed text response becomes evidence. A short answer feels like coldness. A lack of eye contact confirms their fear. And here's the tricky part. Sometimes they're right. But sometimes they're projecting their own fear onto someone who is just having a bad day. For this group, the ability to sense dislike becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're so afraid of being rejected that they read rejection into everything, which then makes them pull away, which ironically creates the very distance they feared. But here's what all three groups share. They're incredibly perceptive, and that's not a weakness. In fact, research shows that people who can accurately read social cues tend to be more emotionally intelligent, more compassionate, and better at navigating complex relationships. The problem isn't the ability itself, it's what you do with it. Do you use it to protect yourself wisely, or do you let it trap you in constant fear and overthinking? Because here's the truth most people won't tell you. Not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. Even the kindest, most authentic, most amazing person in the world will be disliked by someone. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's just human nature. Some people won't vibe with your energy. Some will feel threatened by your confidence. Some will dislike you for reasons that have nothing to do with you at all. And the more you try to be liked by everyone, the more you lose yourself. So if you sense when someone dislikes you, stop seeing it as a problem. Start seeing it as information. It's your brain protecting you, helping you navigate relationships with clarity. The key is learning to trust your intuition without letting it control you, because sensing dislike is useful. But obsessing over it, that's where the suffering begins. So here's the real question. Are you sensing dislike or are you searching for it? Because one is wisdom. The other is self-sabotage. If this resonated, hit subscribe. We explore the psychology that makes sense of why you feel what you feel. And if you related to this, you need to watch our video on the psychology of people who rehearse conversations that already happened. It dives deeper into how your mind processes social interactions, and it might just explain even more about you. Link is on the screen now. Let's navigate this together.